All right, welcome back. So Kumasi Asante Kotoko banishing the woes of Africa and putting 4 past Karela in that particular game. What a cracking game of football. Welcome back to the show. Listen, my guests are seated. Sicho Philip Achrim and Daniel Cranton are here. Guys, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Thank you.
Are you all right?
Yeah,
what a cracking goal from Kumasi Asante Kotoko's Hubert Jau. 2 goals, actually. Both of them.
2 brilliant goals.
Oh, my God. Wonderful goals. It's really good to see Kumasi Asante Kotoko back and banishing the woes of Africa, all of the negative conversation around the club up until this point. That was a really brilliant way to respond. To respond to the question of who steps up in the absence of Albert Amwa. Hubert Jau says, I'm right here.
Yeah, 2 very good goals. Anybody who started would have had fun. You barely have 6 goals in the Ghana Premier League, so of course it was a good game for the fans. But for Kotoko, it was good that they came back into the league with a win because they've got outstanding games to go. What they don't want is for the teams at the very top to stretch them in terms of points. Then there's so much pressure on those outstanding games that they are going to play. So it's good. And the fact that they got 4 goals from 3 different scorers, I mean, also would be something that would please there. I like Satosai's goal, the header.
Yeah.
Because he had to really generate that power, pick that far corner, the goalkeeper couldn't reach it. And so, yeah, Kotoko have got a good enough team to compete and maybe then win the Ghana Premier League. We've always only said that the teams in Ghana are not good for the African competitions on the continent.
For House of Folk, they won a 3rd away victory. That's the most by any team in the Ghana Premier League this season. But again, the performances of Benjamin Asare, again, making some of the headlines because he couldn't claim a decent cross here or there. I mean, that's not exactly very... It just seems very odd that every single match week there is now a very unfavorable highlight from Benjamin Asare. I mean, I don't understand why it's the case. But again, I think it's hard not to understand. But do you think a lot of it is laced with agenda or is genuine concerns? He's just more under the microscope now.
Look, if you are the country's #1, every single game you play is now going to be under the microscope. It's just something you have to live with. You can't play for one of the biggest clubs in the country and be your country's #1 and expect some of these things to go under the radar. It's just not going to. People will not watch the game now. They are watching you. And that's the difference between being Black Stars #1 and not being Black Stars #1. So it's just something that he has to live with. That was a bad mistake. It cost his team a penalty, which they conceded. So it's something he has to live with, obviously. Every goalkeeper has their flaws. But if you are the nation's #1 and you are making these sort of mistakes, you would understand why everybody would look at it and question it and have their question marks at the back of their minds. But at the end of the day, it's one game, it's one mistake. Every goalkeeper makes mistakes. It's up to him to make sure that these things don't become a recurring theme and that he puts some of these things to bed. It's up to the goalkeeper. But as to whether people will talk about it or not, you don't expect people not to talk about it when you are the country's #1.
Sicho, I mean, Benjamin Asare, this is more of a really, really difficult situation to find himself in. I think before, there wasn't so much discussion about his Ghana Premier League performances. Now, after people started to pay more attention to the clean sheets, now people are starting to pay attention to even more details about his game. Have you been impressed with the way he's dealt with all the attention up until this point?
Yeah, I think I have. But of course, everybody's going to be picking up on the little mistakes or the big mistakes that he does. And even when he makes a save, the question will be if the technique was right and everything. Because Danny mentions to be Ghana's #1. It comes with a lot of attention. And so it's a test of his character. If he crumbles under that pressure, then he doesn't deserve to be Ghana's #1. If he's able to hold his head high and then embrace that pressure and then live through it and still be the goalkeeper that the national team coaches think he is, then it affirms why they trust that he can be Ghana's #1. So yeah, it's I think he's dealt well with it. He hasn't looked like He's lost his head. Of course, he's made that terrible mistake. No way should he be coming that far out of his line. And if he's coming, he has to make sure he's getting the ball, not the man. And so he himself will be the first man to hold his hand up and realize that he made a mistake with that. But I've not seen that he's been under any pressure or is feeling the heat of it. But he has to live up with it and live up to it. The expectation that Ghanaians have on him.
Okay. So Benjamin Asare and his House of Folk team, they are doing quite well this season. They've recorded the most away victories so far this campaign, with 3. The closest to them are teams that have won just 1 away wins so far this season. So a very impressive run away from home, especially for Didi Dramani and his Chargers. We'll see what becomes of them, especially in the charge for the Premier League title race. Because as far as the league itself is concerned, it's the Gianna Stars who are top of the table after what was a very impressive away victory for them against 11 Wonders at the University of Ghana Stadium. They won that game by 1-0. And Aristo Chioba was seen in the video, obviously talking about how, in the pre-game conversation, talking about how he believed that they were going to score from a corner kick. And they indeed scored from a corner kick. So sometimes very impressive. So 18 points, they top the table. Bediama have 17 points in second. Bibiani Gold Stars, Hearts of Oak have 16 points apiece. And you have Heart of Lions, who got a draw away as well with some 15 points there this season. All right, so that's the lowdown as far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned. We're going to go to England now. A lot of you always like to complain about how we don't show you enough highlights. So we'll have enough of that for you this week, or today especially. And talk about Liverpool Football Club. Okay, they are back to winning ways, and they did it in style. After 6 consecutive defeats, they finally recorded the victory. And it was Mohamed Salah who set them on their way with a record-setting goal of his own. All right, so Liverpool with an impressive victory. They finally won a game, and they did it playing slightly differently, no?
Playing something closer to what they looked like last season.
Yeah.
And just in case you missed it, only one new signing was in that starting 11, Hugo Ekitike. The team was very much like the team from last season. Alisson wasn't imposed, of course, Mazdavili was imposed, but all the outfield players, apart from Ekitike, who started, were very much the same team, or most of them were the team that the manager relied on last season. Conor Bradley in place of Trent, you would argue he saw some games last season when Trent wasn't playing. It was Robertson who was back in left-back position. The midfield trio was what we got used to from last season. Then the front 3, of course, if Diaz wasn't playing, or Diaz was playing down the middle, Gakpo was playing in the wide area, Mohamed Salah, and then, as I mentioned, Ekitike. I spoke about the fact that Liverpool had brought in about 6 different new players in key positions. Also, it's always going to take time for them to gel. I always thought that the manager, I still think Liverpool's best left-back was Robertson. And now, in the game that he went back to type, in a system that most of the players in the team are very comfortable with, we saw the difference. It wasn't perfect. Aston Villa still could play through them and cause them few problems. But they would be happy that Anfield, at least they kept a clean sheet and they walked away with 3 points.
Yeah. DK, where to now for Anslot? What's the signal for where to build on? Because sometimes maintaining consistency is key, because you can get the one odd result, but then to keep it going is the problem. Have they finally found the winning formula?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I also feel like circumstances force their hand. They have a big game in the Champions League this week. Then they have Man City next week. So if you wanted to build consistency, these are not 2 fixtures that you would be hoping that you have in succession. 2 very difficult games. And I think they are going to drop points in both games, looking at how they are playing. Yes, they look like they were how they played last season, but I don't think that this team is ready for these sort of tests at this point in time. And I think it's going to be difficult. I'm not too surprised with how poorly they have been this season. And we spoke about it from the start of the season. I think that you can't win championships if you have a very poor defense, and that's what is being built on. Once teams know they can score Liverpool or score against Liverpool, it's always going to become a problem. And fortunately, this is not EFC where you have plenty superstar players and it means goals. No, this is real life where relationships matter, systems matter, and profiles also matter. So if you don't get these right, it's not going to translate on the pitch. And for me, Liverpool are going to go through this maybe for a couple of months more before things start to settle down.
For Mohamed Salah, 250 goals now for Liverpool, only the third player to reach that number for Liverpool. That is ridiculous how good it's been for this football club. Is it not? Look, we'll get to Man City, but I look at Manchester City and their numbers, and especially the numbers that Erling Haaland is pulling for them. And you can just see a team that has accepted that they're heavily dependent on Haaland. Why can't Arne Slot and his Liverpool team just accept that Salah is the guy? And that let's do everything possible to make sure that he succeeds. Because when he's scoring, Liverpool are winning.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where every club looks to plan for the future. And there's a risk to it because when you become heavily dependent on one player as your source of goals, which is actually the most difficult thing to do in the game of football, it can backfire and backfire big time. So what Liverpool did in the market was maybe try to spread the goals around. Thought Florian Wirtz would get in at least 15 goals across a competition. He's capable of it. Isak, if he's firing, Isak could give you 20, 25 goals across the season. Hugo Ekitike could be one between 15 and 20. Then there's Mohamed Salah, who on a season can give you 30 goals a season. So Cody Gakpo can chip in his fair 10 to 15. So that was a team looking to spread the goals across and not burden, the aging Mohamed Salah. So the plan and the thinking around it is good. But if that is not working now, you want to look at it and be thinking that maybe Mohamed Salah is still the guy that we have to rely on. So then the team has to shape up in a way that puts him in positions where he can affect the game in terms of goals and assists. So maybe now Arne Slot might have to make that big decision in deciding on how now to use Mohamed Salah even more if he's not getting those numbers across the board as maybe Liverpool thought.
Where do they head from now?
Danny mentions it's tough. It's tough because they beat Aston Villa. And the way Aston Villa also had a very good game, especially in the opening minutes against them. They got in behind them. So Liverpool were not perfect. It wasn't vintage. But they play against Real Madrid. And all the work that was done in the game against Villa could be out of the window if they don't replicate something similar against Real Madrid. Then they play against high-flying Erling Haaland's Man City now. So in those two games, if Liverpool don't get the results that are desirable and the performances to go with it, then everything they did in the Villa game is undone by those two games. But if they can follow it up with statements, performances, and maybe results in the two games that is to come, then maybe you can now think that Liverpool are now settled. They are building on that confidence. So it remains to be seen in the results and the performances in the two games that are coming. That now we can look at them and gauge where they are after this somewhat impressive victory against Villa.
Okay, so Liverpool fans, I'm very interested in hearing from you what you think should be Arne Slot's approach moving forward to ensure that there is some consistency in terms of victories. So it's not just a one-off, because midweek is about to get even tougher in a massive, massive game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. They must get a victory there to move forward. Danny doesn't think that's going to happen. But I want to hear from you how you should approach that game, especially when we get into the Champions League conversation. We'll talk about that. But let's talk about the league leaders, Arsenal Football Club. Another convincing victory, 2-0. Of course, this time they scored some goals from open play against Burnley. But more importantly, another clean sheet for the Gunners. Wow, Declan Rice and Arsenal. Another clean sheet. They scored a goal from open play. Everybody can stop complaining now. But, look, I don't even care anymore about the victories Arsenal are racking up. Impressive enough. The fact that they're not conceding, how long can they keep that going, Diki?
But the goal from open play, like what? Does it give you some extra points?
I don't know. I don't know. You see, to be fair to people, it's not just other club fans that are making those points. It's the Arsenal fans themselves. Some of them, like there's a section of Arsenal fans.
See, when you've gone through a
That
period,
I don't understand them.
where you've not won anything.
I don't understand them.
Sometimes it can cloud your
Judgment.
your judgment, because I don't understand how a team has cracked, because everybody is doing some now.
Yes.
And nobody is as successful.
What was the percentage? 25% of all goals in the Premier League. It's a significant number.
After Arsenal, Chelsea is there. Man U moved up to 4th this weekend with set piece goals. Everybody is taking it seriously because of Arteta.
And somebody said, and some people say that has ruined the Premier League.
It has ruined it.
Yes.
I saw a news article that said that.
There are people that say that the Arteta tactics, the set piece goals, it has ruined the Premier League.
The time in the Premier League where they were putting towel, do you know towel?
Yes.
When you bath, the thing used to clean yourself.
Yes.
When they were putting towel on the touchline at Stoke City Park.
Yes.
Stoke on train.
And that one, I didn't ruin the Premier League.
But Stoke didn't infect every other team with their long shoes at that time.
Those seasons, Blackburn, Robbie Savage and co, Samba and co, they went and put 2 big men on the Arsenal goalkeeper.
Yes.
When the Arsenal at the time.
But they didn't have a towel.
When Rory Delap had a towel.
That is Stoke.
Even Chelsea self, you had towel. Ivanovic. Go and check. Ivanovic had a towel at Stamford Bridge. Ivanovic had a towel at Stamford Bridge.
If it's raining, we use towel.
It's not about raining. You need a grip. The towel.
Yes, when it's raining, you need a grip.
So that when you fly it will go.
What is they saying? But can you do it on a cold Tuesday night at Stoke? Because there is always wet. So they need towel to dry the ball.
The whole of Europe will now take set pieces. Otuado self is taking set pieces seriously. You think we are joking here in football? Every year, somebody shows us that, okay, somebody will open their eyes.
We're not saying people aren't doing it. We're saying that because people are not doing it, the fans are angry.
Those fans, they are not serious.
They said that Arteta, his tactics has ruined the Premier League.
Those fans, they are not serious. And I doubt the Arsenal fans who are complaining about it.
I've seen the section.
Your team is winning. That's why I say they are not serious. They are closet something fans. They are not Arsenal fans.
I would like to see more teams score from set pieces than teams forced to play out from the back when they don't have the quality.
That one didn't ruin the Premier League.
We saw.
Look at Martinez.
Martinez. I mean, it can happen once in a while. We've seen Burnley under company, Russell Martin, Southampton,
Norwich City, Daniel Farke.
Like teams that clearly have.
But you are doing it because everybody is doing it.
And then they are trying to pass out from the back and they are constantly cheap goals. I don't want to see those goals. I would rather want to see long throwing, strikers and defenders hustling for the ball and somebody's taking it into the back of the net. However you score the goal,
It's a goal.
You can shoot from 40 yards, it's a goal. You can get a free kick and score, it's a goal. Set piece. And the regularity with which Arsenal are scoring those set pieces, it's massive credit to them because what are the chances that you are always scoring from those? Like, we've never seen this before. Like, people are saying that it used to be.
We've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Until today, no team can formulate. Don't complain.
And then when people say that, he's gone back to the olden days of Premier League where they used to. It's not true.
It's not true.
No team was scoring with this frequency. This is new. We've not seen this. We've not seen any team in the world ever score from corner kicks and outswing or in-swing.
With such devastating regularity.
It is rare. Like, we've not seen this before. So don't tell me that was 20 years ago, Premier League, vintage Premier League. No. What Arteta and Arsenal are doing is special. It really is special. So credit to them.
You know,
find a way to stop the thing and stop complaining. Find a way to stop. This is when Pep started building from the back. Today everybody is doing it. Today when you kick a long goal kick, that means you are not good.
Remember when Pep came to the Premier League in his first season, his players were not in tune, they couldn't play. The pundits kept asking him, is the Premier League the most difficult league you've ever played in? Will your style work? The man went on to win 6 Premier League titles in 7 years.
4 in a row.
So they want foreign endorsements.
Smashing every single record in the Premier League by enforcing a style. That style in the end transcended to even the championship team that are not good enough to play.
You see, it's very disingenuous because they are creating chances from open play. They are creating chances from open play. Look at the highlights we just watched. Apart from the goal, which was a set piece, the rest of the highlights were all open play chances. The fact that it's not going into the pool doesn't mean that the team is not working. They are creating chances from open play. But when you see this game, right now data has come inside, data analysis. When they do the probability rankings of what's the probability of scoring from open play as against probability of scoring from set pieces. Right now, they are set pieces. They have perfected it. So the easier means to go is a set piece. So you sit there and when you go to training, go and sleep at training. Then come on Saturday when they score you, they only score. They are taking the 3 points and they are going. Yeah. You're sitting there and even Otuadu, look at Salisu and Jiku. Right now when it's corner, we know it's a goal. But then,
even Sibo almost got his debut. His first last goal from set piece.
Be there.
Arsenal will not score a set piece goal against Chelsea. That will not happen. That will not happen. Speaking of Chelsea,
Chelsea is number two. Chelsea is number two.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Chelsea is a great set piece.
Osha Namashe. Quick. This one is bang for bang.
Quick.
I have a question though. Why are Arsenal so difficult to score against? 7 consecutive clean sheets. Is it just a case that they have good centre backs, or they have good protection in front of them, or it's just a case of organisation?
I think it's the organisation, it's the rest defence. They are, and we've seen this thing over like the past 3 years. It's been coming. Obviously, this is different.
Yeah,
but
it's not new.
That always defensive solidity of Arsenal has always been there, and it's because of how they play. It's very different. They don't. It's attack as a team, defend as a team. Even in the offensive third, when they are trying to carve teams, it's like every pass that is trying to lead to a chance is also cautious in a way not to leave too much space for transition. So they are a really good team. And the thing you see, it's not just about not conceding goals. They are not conceding chances. In fact, the Burnley game, I think the clearest was the last-minute free kick. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah, it was free kick, yeah.
Raya hardly does anything.
No shots.
I think he went 3 games in a row without conceding a shot on goal in terms of making a save. And that's just how good this Arsenal team is. I think it's credit to Arteta. And championships are built on good defenses.
Yes.
The top teams, go back and look at the Premier League over time. The team that usually finishes top is either top 2 best defense in the league. That's a fact. You can't win the championship without having a very good defense. And Arsenal have cracked it. Obviously, if you're not conceding, it means you're not losing games. Mm-hmm. And if you're not losing games, you are on a road to go.
This is the ultimate question, though. And it's a question that I need to ask you guys. And I need like 2 sentences. I need like 1 sentence, 2 sentences. What's the question I want to ask? You want to...
About my your head.
Arsenal going to win the Premier League.
No, as for us now going to win the Premier League,
okay, sure.
We are not prophets. We can't...
When you were taking the Premier League prediction at the start of the season, were you a prophet?
Were you a prophet?
Yes.
Right now, you've lost your prophetic power.
This bad guy.
Wait, I saw a quote going around. I don't know if it's real. I didn't get time to verify it. Maybe one of you have. Slot said that it's a good thing that it's not Man City that are top. It's Arsenal. It's not real.
Yeah, I saw it going on. I didn't verify that.
It can't be real. So here,
from the thing Slot has been saying before recently.
that account in the agenda.
Slot, the things they talked before recently.
I knew that couldn't be real. Yeah, he can't say that. So he didn't say that. But here's my question, my real question. The Chelsea 15 goals a season conceded, from the look of it, obviously we all can't tell the future, but do you think this Arsenal team, in this era of the Premier League, are capable of breaking that record? Because let's be honest, after 10 matches, they've conceded 3. If we strike an average, the most goals they will concede is 12.
It doesn't work like that.
Guaranteed, yes, agreed. So you don't think that's going to happen?
Look, football has changed.
It has.
The general outlook on football right now is skewed towards offensive, or offensive-minded football. So teams are more attacking. Look, how many games have we played? 10, 11 games in the Premier League. It's still a long way to go. They will get to that point where you need to grind out results. You will go into those games where you have injuries, where your rhythm will be shaken. Look, it's just too long. The bottom line is almost every team in the Premier League, almost every team in world football now knows how to score goals. They know how to fashion out chances. They know how to score goals. And I think football has changed. It's going to be extremely difficult. If Arsenal do it, I think it will be greater than what Chelsea did in 04-05. when football was a bit more different. If you look, the average goals in the Premier League consistently is going up as compared to that time. And I really don't. What the Arsenal is doing right now is crazy, but for it to prolong over 38 game weeks, I really can't see. If it happens, they should build Arteta and statue.
Chicho, what do you think?
I don't think I'm going to see anything like that. I don't think so.
You don't think this defense? I mean, 10 matches, 3 goals. The next 10, another 3. The 10 after that, another 3. That's 9. Then 8 games left. You concede another 3. That's 12.
That's a football. It's mathematics, but I mean, they could go into a game and still win the game by 4 goals to 3, but they would be conceding 3.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't see it. I don't see how they concede less than or 15 goals in the season. That thing Chelsea did, I'm not sure in our lifetime we'll see any team break that record.
Really? That's a bold call.
Yeah, it was an impossible record to break. But if they do it, I'll be stunned. If they do it, I'll be stunned. I don't see it. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's take you to North London. That's where Chelsea visited Tottenham Hotspur, and they did it again. That's the match statistics. Chelsea utterly dominant in this particular game. Listen, I don't know, man, but this is one of those matches where it doesn't really matter what form Chelsea are in. They go in there and last season, Spurs scored first. Chelsea equalized and beat them by 4 goals to some crazy scoreline like that.
It's a crazy game, 2 red cards.
Yeah, and, I have a song for you. The fans always singing, it's happening again, it's happening again, Tottenham Hotspur, it's happening again. But the biggest highlight of this game, guys, has to be Caicedo's performance. What a guy.
Maybe Cuckoo. Anyway.
Oh, and the Cuckoo versus Cuckoo one, we'll talk about it.
Cuckoo versus Cuckoo.
Yes.
Who cooked?
Who cooked?
Who cooked better? Cuckoo versus Cuckoo.
No. That was Bars. Cuckoo versus Cuckoo. Who cooked?
Yeah.
Oh, we're asking the fans. Cuckoo versus Cuckoo. Cucurella versus Kudus. Who cooked? Cuckoo with a C and Cuckoo with a K. Cuckoo versus Cuckoo. Who cooked? Answer that question. Who cooked?
The Cuckoo with a C.
The Cuckoo. The guy with the long hair.
Yeah, the guy with the long hair.
He don't give Kudus breathing space. Crowd.
Yeah. What made it worse? I thought Kudus was bent on winning a personal battle with Cucurella.
Right.
So there were times where he was bent on trying to get past him when at some point he should have just been passing the ball around him, because sometimes the pass can be a dribble.
Yes.
Because the essence of dribbling is getting the ball past a player.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the pass around that player and taking that player out of the game could be that dribble, right? But I thought Kudus just wanted to win that challenge so much so that almost every time that he had an opportunity of releasing the ball, he wanted to get past Cucurella. Cucurella has been brilliant in the last 2 years or so.
True.
You know, whenever he's faced a very tough winger or forward player in that wide position, he's never been...
He's 1v1 defending.
He's patient.
Yeah.
And his eyes are always on the ball. He's never looking at the man. He's never looking at the feet. So all the tricks, he can do them, but he's very composed and patient because his eyes fixed on the ball. And because he's very agile, you can skip past him, but he's quick enough to also spin and get himself back into good defending positions or defensive positions. So yeah, I like his defending. I think he's improved massively. He came to Chelsea, struggled a little bit at the start, but since he found his groove, he's not looked back. He's been brilliant for Spain, brilliant for Chelsea, and Ghana's Kudus just couldn't cope with.
I'm going to stay with you because there is a growing frustration from the Spurs fans about Thomas Frank. And it's evident, not just on social media, but even in the stadium, you could tell, because largely the team hasn't played well. Last season or under Postecoglou, it was the opposite. They played brilliantly most times, but never won. Thomas Frank isn't playing well. Then he got some decent result, but against Chelsea, they didn't play well. Didn't win. They had one shot on target, that Kudus shot, all game. And it was almost like they didn't come in to compete. Like, what is going on there? Because ordinarily, Thomas Frank seems like a manager that came in with good reputation, but so far at Spurs, the fans don't seem very impressed at all. And some of the players, we saw their reaction. It seems like already there's some fire up the mountain.
To be honest, Thomas Frank is being Thomas Frank. We saw his Brentford team. They can be exciting at times, but that is when they have to play as underdogs. They know how to quickly transition the ball through the channels, create decent chances and spaces.
Yeah.
But that is also if he's got creative elements in the team. Unfortunately for him, the more creative players that he's got in the side are injured. And one of the players that would have aided the way this team could play in terms of hold-up play, a big target man, Dominic Solanke is not there. Richarlison can be a problem for defending, but his hold-up play is not the best. Kolomwani, his hold-up play is not the best. He's good at running into channels. But we saw what he did with Ivan Toney or Brian Mbeumo. You know, that's the style. He always needs that player that can play the ball into, and he needs creative players around him. But Xavi Simons was supposed to come in and be that, but he's had a tough time in settling into the Premier League. There is no Maddison, who otherwise would have been that number 10, or Dejan Kulusevski. Those two key players are missing, so they lack the creative spark in the side. And when you're a coach of a club like Spurs, sometimes it wouldn't even matter. Because to be fair, Spurs are not doing bad in terms of points and where they are in the table, considering where they finished last season. But when you're the manager of a club like Spurs, sometimes the results doesn't necessarily matter throughout. They want to see something else they call their football. Exciting, quite expansive, all attacking, all defensive. But Thomas Frank is very pragmatic. He doesn't necessarily care about the aesthetic of the game and how beautiful it can be. He wants his team to be efficient in defending and take their chances some way, somehow. So yeah, it's not the Spurs, it's not the traditional Spurs that we've become accustomed to. And that is why they are agitating the way they are agitating. But I would take...
And even team selection. I don't know what Romero was doing on the bench.
Well, Romero had just returned, from
he's
injury.
Good enough to be on the bench.
But if he's not sharp, you don't want to risk him again.
When he came in, the difference was clear.
Maybe again, sometimes let's give the coach the benefit of the doubt. Your medical team can tell you he's got 40 minutes in him, 30 minutes in him. So you want to throw him on that, but you're also looking at the long term of the season. Would you want to aggravate an injury to your captain because the Chelsea game, or you want to ease him in and make sure you have him for the rest of the season where you're competing for the top 4 and competing at the cup competition? So it's not been pleasing on the eye. But Spurs have got 17 points. They're in 5th position or something. Yeah. It's not the worst possible start that they could have had. They finished bottom half last season. They need to give Thomas Frank some time to blend some of these players in and maybe wait for some of those injured creative players to Dominic Solanke, Kulusevski, Maddison's. Maybe he's going to return before the season ends, but we never know. Those players, when they come in. But one player that he has to constantly play now, for me, is Salah. Salah is quite different from, and he gets goals. I think in the final third,
I like him.
He's very decisive.
Very quiet, goes about his business.
He hasn't played him enough, this season. Maybe you have to start trusting him.
DK, there's another brewing argument on social media. Obviously, Caicedo versus Declan Rice. Both players, remarkable performances this weekend. But, I've seen the Kante Caicedo, and that is a crazy, I don't want to go there, but, I think we have a graphic to show you just like how good those two, Rice and Caicedo, have been this season. But, DK, what did you make of the performances of those two players this weekend?
Look, Caicedo was brilliant. That Tottenham Hotspur... Okay, that Tottenham Hotspur...
No. Say whatever you're going to say before you paused and went back talking.
They went to buy everybody. I don't understand that squad. That Tottenham squad, I don't get it. Kolomwani did there some. Tel is there some. Solanke, when he comes back, think about it. When the people there's Richarlison there some, they didn't sell him. Kulusevski will come back.
Odobe.
Johnson, Brennan Johnson, there's Kudus, there's Omodoson. Plenty.
Yeah, that's also it's also.
Look at the midfield. Palinia, Bentancur, Sa, Bedva. Plenty. Guy no Onyade.
Which guy?
Thomas Frank. Onyade.
Against Chelsea was pretty bad. That match could have ended 5-0.
The way they are playing and the tools he has, I understand why the fans are angry. Yeah. Look at the squad that you have. And look at the football you have. God. But Javi Simons too does so way.
Yes, so way.
But you see, all the signings that he's made, All the new signings.
Where he come from? Javi Simons know where he come from.
RB.
RB.
Yeah.
What country?
Bundesliga. That's what
Toyota Vest know where he come from. Toyota Vest know where.
Bundesliga.
I don't see them be similar type players.
Yeah.
Them be control type
control.
players. Almost by bread because this be the Premier League.
No, but wait. The players that he signed, his new signings that were supposed to come in, and maybe all of them, have, apart from Mohamed Kudus, who had a good start and still is when he's on the ball, shows like Javi Simons is not working. Kolomwani, okay, maybe then Palhinha as well is
when he plays, he's okay.
yeah.
Palhinha
Palhinha, the DM, they play. You know,
but the game against Chelsea, I said, the levels are so different.
The issue, they were just lazy. They look tired, lazy, not interested. Chelsea bullied them.
You should not be tired and lazy. Look at the squad. Look at the squad of players that you have. Masa, guy no Onyadi. He only does well when he's packing bars and playing counter.
That's the one Spurs don't like.
We don't like that.
They will never hate that.
We don't like that.
The Spurs fans don't like that
He needs
at all.
to change.
They can't accept it.
Look at the look at the squad. Though. These players who are injured with the transfer window that they gave him, he doesn't have an excuse. He doesn't. And Kulusevski, if he comes today, you know, who is he bang on going to be starting ahead?
Oh, Javi Simons. Javi Simons, quick.
Javi Simons, no. I understand.
Yeah.
The guy.
If he a guy.
No, he's my player. But is he my player? But me, I said it. You see, I'm a very honest man. Oh, Chelsea didn't necessarily dodge him. You see, there are some good players.
He would have come into the team, maybe then
who
he
are
would
not
have
good for some certain.
Brother, where did he come from?
But there's no place of coming from.
Oh, Boga,
It's all human. It's all human.
That was how many years ago? Bundesliga, no, Asare, right now, I will stop that. Boga, sexy Sesko.
They say if your player comes from Bundesliga, forget. You don't go. You
don't see sexy Sesko this week. That is Tiampa.
Like Casedo and Rice, no.
Oh, no. You see, it's one of those arguments where everybody's right.
You bow. Depending on what you say.
Take your player and let me take mine. Because to be frank, they are two of the best midfielders out there.
Absolutely.
And they are so dynamic, they can do anything. Like, both of them can be DMs and be world class. They can be box to box, be world class. In fact, I dare say, if you release them and you allow them to go for it, the attacking midfielder, they will be world class. They are really that good. And for me, nobody will be right or wrong. So
both players moved in the same summer from their previous clubs.
Yeah.
Rice for a lot of money, over 100 million or 100 million to Arsenal, and then Caicedo also over 100 million to Chelsea. And I remember on our show on radio, I said that people were asking about the price or questioning how much they were costing. And at the time I said, it wouldn't necessarily maybe be about how good they are in their positions, but just the fact that in the world at the moment, those two players are two of the best in those positions that they play, and that's why they are commanding those wages. And credit to them, they've gone to their new clubs and they've not let those clubs down. Of course, Caicedo had a rough start, and not only Caicedo, the entire project had a rough start. But since he settled in, what a complete player he's been. It's not only when he's on the ball, it's just the way he reads situation and helps in defending. I remember when Chelsea played with a champion, he knew a champion was inexperienced. He knew that he was going to struggle, but he always played close to him, coaching him, guiding him, helping him out in defending. So yeah, Chelsea have got a real powerhouse on their hand.
Yeah, fantastic. And two wonderful players. I like Declan Rice a lot, also because maybe I'm just too attached to him because he's a Coban boy. But
and you know the thing too,
he's a Coban boy.
For me, it's not Rice or Caicedo. You can almost imagine if the two players were in
the
team.
No, that would be unfair. That would be unfair.
Right. Like Enzo will sit down. If Rice was at Chelsea, Enzo no better now.
Oh no, it could have been Caicedo, Rice, and Enzo.
Enzo go tap. Yeah. And Enzo go play.
The Chelsea fans don't agree. Let's do one more game from the Premier League, and then we'll wrap it up from there. Manchester United were in action against Nottingham Forest. They were looking to make it 4 wins out of 4. It didn't happen. That was a cracking game of football. 2-2. Murillo with another goal line clearance. He also did one last year, right? Against the same Manchester United. But it was a really exciting game of football. Unfortunately, United couldn't get all the 3 points. But exciting. I like the way United are playing these days. Like there's some excitement in the way they're playing. So that's really good for them. I also wanted to show you this, right? Manchester City beat Bournemouth by 3-1. But this is a curious conversation about Manchester City's team and the distribution of the goals.
So we won't talk about Man U.
Oh, Man U do.
We'll talk.
We'll talk about the winners.
Bring the camera. Remove
We're talking about winners.
Man U has played the game.
Oh.
We have told somebody.
Okay.
Bring the camera and let's talk Man U. Then we'll go to Man
Okay, what do you want to say about Man U?
You, when we were losing, you were spending 60 minutes on Man U. Now we are getting this thing. You want to move on to Haaland. Haaland for what?
That's a good point.
when let's talk about Man U.
I have to ask, what Mourinho?
Forest to Man United to your thoughts.
Oh, it should have been a win.
Okay.
It should have been a win. For Man United, it should have been a win. Look, I told you that confidence has a way of spoiling.
It's habitual.
Bugger. Like, they just needed that win, and then the next one, and then the next one. Because if you look at the manner in which they just crumbled in the opening 2 minutes of the second half, take this same situation last month. It's a 4-1 game against Man U.
That is true.
Bang on.
That's true.
But the crazy thing is that after going down 2-1, Man U played the best football they had played in the whole game. Because the first half, they were not that convincing. In the first half, Nottingham Forest were knocking the door, especially those aerial balls. They were knocking the door. But after going down 2-1, Man United actually had a presence of mind to calm down and started playing some good football, created some decent openings, and then got the equalizer. And easily could have won the game. 2 really good chances at the end. Easily could have. Sesko, no, he needs to take his time.
Onyade.
Sesko, he needs to take his time. And he's lucky that the pure number 9s in the team,
right.
Because sexy no wasa. When was the last time you saw me wear the wig? Guy no wasa, you should sack him. Hoyland, the guy at Napoli, he has already gone. So the only reason why Sesko is playing and will keep playing is because in terms of that role, he's the only one who can say. I saw Citro's tweet. They should remove Sesko and put Cunha. Cunha, when you put him that number 9, they're on team ball.
No. That was in the last 15 minutes when Man United were yeah.
We were lifting the ball.
Direct.
If we are lifting the ball, we need somebody who can.
But he wasn't doing it.
He wasn't doing it, but the solution is not taking it. It is hope that he will do it because he can do it. You understand? But he needs to take his time.
Hopeful football.
It's not about hopeful football. the guy has the ability to excel. I don't understand why in the last 2 games the guy has been, but I'll talk to him. But the bottom line is, the thing is beginning to pick. And we are seeing the connections. Look at Ahmad and Mbeumo. All of a sudden, it's like these boys have been playing together for 5 years. Ahmad doesn't need to look where Mbeumo, but telepathic understanding. They get it. Something happened. That's what I want to talk about, man. You see the guy at the other side, Nodalo.
Yes.
That guy is a problem.
Hey, the United fans were on him whole match.
I'm happy.
They said Dalo was playing against United.
In my whole life, Situ, since I started watching football, I have never been happy that a player will change his appearance than Dogu. He said Dogu, he do braids now.
Yes.
Did you see Dogu's performance when he came on Saturday?
It wasn't massive for me.
Or is it better?
It was better than... Because Dalo was so disappointed. So.
No. For the first time,
yes,
Dogu did the right things. He wasn't extraordinary.
Yes. He was
but he
just
passed
basic.
when he was
Basic,
supposed to pass. He could complete a cross when he was supposed to. And it's all in the hair.
There's a thing, you know. He changed the rasta to brace, suddenly. Okay.
So that...
the Kawizi theory.
The Dalo guy,
Yes.
That guy was his biggest asset is his fitness. He's never ever injured.
Do you think what people say about if Martinez is fit and sharp, Luke Shaw should?
No, I don't think Luke Shaw can't do that. He's lost his legs.
Doesn't have the energy.
Yeah, he doesn't have the energy to come. But
Dogu can't hit for you, sir.
Dogu should just maintain that hair and give those performances. We don't need anything, BBL.
Yeah, so just keep the braids.
Just keep the braids.
Send the braid out to them.
Oh, quick.
Anyway, so listen, let me hear from you. Send us a message, 0551 575757. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Karim will be here with Ghanaian players abroad, and we'll take you around the rest of Europe, as well as look ahead to Champions League action on Tuesday and on Wednesday. You're watching Sports Zone on Joy Prime, proudly sponsored by Piva Beverages, producers of Game Energy Drink, and, of course, Guinness, with Guinness for an extra and Guinness Smooth. Stay with us. Your messages will also be read after this. Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime, brought to you by Piva Beverages, producers of Game Energy Drink, the best energy drink in town, and also by Guinness, with Guinness for an extra and Guinness Smooth. Up next is Ghanaian players abroad with Adamu Beni Abdul Karim. Before we go to Karim, though, let me take you through some of the messages you've been sending in on the show. Lots of them, so I'm going to read some now. This one says, good evening and greetings to your cherished viewers. That Liverpool coach no see anything yet because he won the EPL on his debut season. He thinks he can be selling his key players anyhow. He's not seen anything yet. I'm Chase from Alafia, Dakuman. And he said, greetings to my people in Alafia. Thank you, Chase, for your message. Pai, now what she says, I'm scratching my head about Diogo Dalot. What do coaches see that we don't see about such players, despite being consistently poor? He's been part of many squads responsible for getting managers sacked, and each coach has some level of trust in him. I simply don't get it. That's par with that message. This message says, hi, I'm Asare Richard from Pram. A good win for House of Folk, and I want to see Haaland at the Camp Nou one day. Forza Barcelona, he says. Pilolo, formerly Sinyane now Bordeaux, says we shouldn't have drawn that game, but I'm happy because Man United of last season would have lost that particular game. I think Daniel re-echoed that point for you as well. This one says, I'm Strongman Fuzi from Dondoli Kotia family in Wa. I pray Arsenal wins tomorrow's match, and I also send warm greetings to all the people in Wa, especially the Kotia family. I really like your sports show. Keep it up. This message is from Castro Steve from China. He says, good evening, Sports Zone. Happy to see everybody back to the show. A weekend where Chelsea won, Hearts won, and United drew is good news for me. Greetings to all the Chelsea fans in China. Senna from Oyibi says, the boys looking sharp as always. Big ups to Danny and Sicho. I'm still not convinced by what Arsenal is doing. I mean, it's Arsenal, right? I will not be convinced until I see this same performance and dominance in January or February. Interesting, all right? Enoch from Elbow, is it Elubu? Okay, maybe it's Elubu, says, good evening, boss. Asare must be serious because he's the number one now and we can't take any jokes whatsoever. Interesting. Ephraim, inside Ho Barracks, Newtown, says, good evening, guys. I always love watching you guys in your splendid outfits. Thank you very much. This one says, hi, Fent. Good evening to you and your team. The fact is that Morocco's leadership are investing into the football fraternity, and that's why they are getting good results. Congratulations to the under-20 team. It's a plus to African football. Hi to Danike and Karim. This is Joseph from Bande. I think this message is from like last week or 2 weeks ago as well. Joseph, Karim's grandson. Speaking of Karim, Akwano, Owehe. I'm even shocked. Francis from Achim Achiasi says, I hope Arsenal can win the EPL this season. And this message says, hi, Sports Zone. This is Bismarck from Kumasi. Cucurella gave our very own Kudus a tough time. Kudus got cooked. And Steve from Sapieman says, Cuckoo versus Cuckoo, but the cuckoo in white is Cuckoo. Hey, some people get off this doco. Steve in Safi, man. What can I say more? This one's a good evening, men of sports. Congratulations to my club, Arsenal, for another win and clean sheet. They've shown title-winning mentality. For Liverpool, I knew they'll have a bad run. It's time to expose Onslaught. He won the league with club squad, wasted 500 million on flop players, allowed key players like Diaz and Trent to leave. And he says, poor team selection, misusing players like Chiesa, always making excuses after losing matches. And what do I care? Let them continue this way as long as Arsenal wins. Emmanuel from Cotonou. Interesting. Ilusa from the Upper West region. He says, I'm a Sisala by tribe from Ping. Great work to you and your beautiful, your analysis is beautiful. Okay, thank you very much. From Inusa in Ping. Thank you for your message. This one said, the Declan Rice and Moses Caicedo comparison is really not a debate. Moy is the eldest And maybe Rice is the third born. Interesting one. Lion-hearted at Nadoli with that message. I've got more messages here, but Karim is ready with Ghanaian players abroad. So let's switch to the other side of the studio where Karim... Karim, Adamu Beni Abdul Karim. Oh, how are you?
Charlie, I'm fine.
What is that DK? I don't understand. DK, Karim, what's going on? Why is that DK laughing?
He's in awe. He's in awe.
He's in awe.
Yeah.
He's in, not ow, please.
Massa. What?
The way my mother will love this guy.
Tell your mother tell your mother that he said ow.
Boga.
So is your mother in ow?
I do go and study the English with you. I do go.
Zicho.
Mama, look at you.
Zicho, the girl's mother is an ow.
The owl, how do you
Fentu, are you going to come or I should carry on?
You're not serious.
I'm trying to, you see, I'm trying to.
Fentu.
Somebody give me tissue.
There's no time. 18 minutes.
I'm trying to. Hey, Karim, I'm trying to teach you how to pronounce the word. You won't listen to me. You are saying that Master, I should come out for there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Danike says that his mother is a big fan of you.
Oh, thank you, Mama.
Yeah.
Sichu, one question before we start.
Yes, sir.
So, if a player is in the Ghana Premier League and after 12 games, it is World Cup here, he has scored 4 goals and provided 4 assists, what would the conversations be like around this time? It's World Cup here.
8 goal contributions in how many?
12.
That is impressive.
Well, I would say it depends on where he plays. If he plays for Hearts or Kotoko, he has a lot of leverage. Otherwise, in attacking position in the Black Stars now, maybe it might count for not too much.
So, if the player is, let me say, playing in Switzerland, the second tier of the Switzerland, is the Swiss second tier more competitive than the Ghana Premier League?
Yes, 100%.
So, Daniel Free,
Bunny.
he has scored 4 goals and provided 4 assists in the Swiss second tier, but there are no conversations of him being in contention for the Black Stars.
If he did that, like I said, if he did that in Hearts of colours, right, 2 goals, 2 assists in the World Cup year, there would have been shouts for him. In the second tier of the Swiss league, maybe not so much because people don't see it every time.
Champ, Swiss top tier no, Korano. Hey, Digi, the Swiss top tier no, Korano.
Goalkeeper for them, you know.
See,
So wait.
these conversations, they can be hard, but the thing is, what I'm just trying to say is that if Afriye was still playing for House of Folk, and he was putting up these numbers,
He had a higher probability of
going to the World
That's a
Cup.
fair point.
He
to
doesn't,
make.
there's evidence he did it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
It was at the last World
If he were pulling those numbers in the Ghana Premier League, there would be a shout for him to go to the World Cup. And the Swiss second tier might be better than the Ghana Premier League, but the numbers there just don't count as much. And it's just, I think it's the privilege of playing in Ghana. We have a certain affinity towards,
So with that affinity, is it just the affinity or the players really deserve that? Is it just the people are attached to the Ghana Premier League, or when they say, oh, Ghana Premier League players should be in the World Cup?
When we say Ghana Premier League players should go to the World Cup, I don't necessarily think that they're saying that they are better than every other player.
So
but we are saying that
usually
exposure is necessary.
Usually, the point a lot of people are making is that Ghana Premier League players, they should pick them because some of the players that are going to the World Cup, they won't get to play there. So assuming anything can happen at the World Cup, if it happens that 2 players are in a squad, and
they have to be the best.
And they are the best, and it falls that the player that they are relying on to play all the games at the World Cup is injured, and it has to be the Ghana.
The Ghana Premier player
the best player.
The Ghana Premier player will play.
Was he the best player available in that player position? If the one that was
but he will play.
Why? And is he the best option? That's what I'm saying.
It may not be the best option, but so long as he's in the
Has
squad.
he weakened the team or strengthened the team?
The performances will
at the
tell.
World Cup
It will tell, yes.
that's
Performances will
You
tell.
see, there are so many examples for you to tell whether a Ghana Premier League player, where you put him straight into the Black Stars starting 11, whether he
He's
can.
performed superbly.
Where?
Habib Mohamed, Sheila Eliasu.
How many years was that?
Benjamin Asare,
When
five
has Benjamin Asare played at the World Cup?
You said starting 11 of the Black Stars.
I am not. I'm
But
premising
you also,
everything.
if you say local
I
players
am
who have played at
premising
the World
every-
Cup, then the only two examples I just gave you.
I am premising everything right now at the World
Habib.
Cup. So, even recently, if you just slot in a local player into the Black Stars, most of them, Benjamin Asare for now is an exception.
So you came here to do an argument.
I have not to do an
done?
argument. I'm actually coming to say that the argument about the local players is a lot of it is sentimental, not because most of them are.
Yes, and what's wrong with
I mean, I agree.
sentiment?
I think Kotoko's Albert Amoah, if he had stayed in the league, played the way and continue to play the way he was going to play, there would have been massive pressure on Otuado and his team to take him to the World Cup. But now that he's out of the Ghana Premier League, I doubt anybody's going to call on him.
And those
to go to
examples
the
are
World
many,
Cup.
right?
Yes.
So, yeah, we saw Richmond Lamptey.
Yes.
There was so much. It started on this show.
He went to the
Started
AFCON.
here.
And we said, yeah, we didn't think he should go to the AFCON. He went to the AFCON, didn't even get dressed for any single game. As soon as he left the scene, and by the way, he's playing a lot better in Tanzania than he was playing in Ghana. Nobody remembers him.
Last season, he scored 13 goals in 13 games, but nobody is shouting
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he should be
Richmond
called
Lamptey,
up for the
yeah,
Black
so, yeah.
Stars. So, yeah, it's just the currency of playing in the Ghana Premier League. And that.
All right, Karim, your time is up. So now,
Just give me a minute more to do something. So, before I come to the team of the week, Afena Jan scored his first goal for Ahmedspor over the weekend after 11 games in the Turkey second tier. Then Benjamin Tete again scored for Maribor in a 3-2 win. That is in the Slovenian top flight. Then Prince Amaku Jr. also made it 5 goals this season for New Zealand, though they lost 4-2 to Obi. That is in the Danish league. Then Afri, as I've mentioned. Then in the team of the week, I'm just going to mention a few players. Then this player, that is Tyrese Asante. He was born in Netherlands. Then his parents are from Ghana. He plays for Maccabi Tel Aviv. And they won, were 2-0. That is 1-0 against Maccabi Reina. And in that game, he's a player to create the most chances in that game. Then Tyrone Owusu also plays for Luzon. And they won 5-0 against Grasshoppers. And that is in the Swiss league. And he provided an assist in that game. It was again big for. Then another player I've been talking about, a number 9 actually, Ragnar Archie. He was playing in the German second tier last season and has made a step up to the Bundesliga. And over the weekend, he scored his first Bundesliga goal for FC Cologne, and they won 4-1 against Hamburg. Your favorite player plays, your favorite Black Stars player, that is Konnigsdorfer. And that is after he scored over the weekend, after he scored against Bayern in midweek. That is in the German Cup. And then Prince Edu Kobna, he's on a roll now.
Again.
Five games, 5 goals. In his last 5 games, he has scored 5 goals. Then Edmond Bedu, also
Again.
last week, I mentioned him. In the last 4 games, he has either scored or assisted. And over the weekend, in the Austrian league, he scored for Salzburg, and they won 4-1, I think, against Reed. Then Thomas Partey, the first time he's making the week. Then Rome also plays for AZ Alkmaar in goal. So that's the summary of it.
was he born in Rome? His name is
He
Rome.
was-
It's a fair question
Yes.
to ask, right?
He was born in the Netherlands.
But I've seen Terry Yegbe there. Good for him, because that boy, when he came to under 23, the kind of
Trolling
yeah,
and kind of
He was a
criticism he
disaster. So
got from there.
if he speaks this,
yeah. It's good to see that he.
Yeah, he now plays in the league. And for Mets, they won away.
Where is
They won.
Kojo Opon Pepra?
Kojo Opon, he played for.
Please, he balled out
Yeah.
against PSG.
But
are you the one doing the rankings?
I'm just saying that he's biased.
I am not.
So who would you?
There's a
who would you replace
justification,
him?
and that's.
Who would you replace in the team?
Pfeiffer.
Which
Did you watch
Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer?
Are you serious?
Now,
Did you watch Pfeiffer? Did you watch Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer play the best team in Europe?
Did you watch Pfeiffer?
Did you watch?
Pfeiffer play against the best team in
Did you
Europe?
watch
Take your time.
Pfeiffer?
Pepper played against the best team in
Thank you
Europe.
very
Pfeiffer-
much, Karim.
Pfeiffer's
Thank
team.
you, Danny.
Kojo
Thank
Pfeiffer,
you.
Who did he
lose.
play?
Thank
Team
you,
lose.
thank you very much.
Last minute goal.
You can stop argument. Real Madrid also got a very impressive victory against Valencia. Valencia have become some Kylian Mbappe again with a brace. Barca also accounting for Elche there. But there's Champions League football.
Yep.
Even before we go to Champions League brief, Bayern Munich, 15 out of 15 from Vincent Kompany.
Incredible, especially
in all competitions.
Against Leverkusen, rested some of his key players, yet they went on to do their job. It's if they can translate that into Champions League, as we're about to talk about, that would matter.
Yeah.
And it's a real test for them coming up this midweek.
Yeah. And the Champions League you talk about, they have a big game against Paris Saint-Germain. That is massive.
On Tuesday have been a final, you know.
No, it couldn't have been a final.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah, it's company. There's no.
Okay, I'm not looking at it for the two teams, as in now. Like, the name of the clubs could easily make...
Is this the biggest test for...
that has been a Champions League final safe.
Is this the... Yeah,
It's the
Bayern.
Coma.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Who's going to win?
Confident.
No, I was just saying, be company.
Guys, who's going to win? PSG at home against Bayern.
Look, very, very tough game. Very tough game. But I think PSG will edge it.
I think Bayern.
I think, yeah.
Bayern too. Real at Anfield.
Bayern who they face?
Real at Anfield.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Real Madrid.
They catch my eyes, cast squam, they eat it.
I think Real Madrid will win at Anfield. Because of the way they are playing.
Don't explain it. The thing is there.
Is there?
The thing is there.
Castigated.
Yeah, but so those two games, two massive games on Tuesday, and then the rest of the matches Wednesday. The Wednesday games are pretty much straightforward, right? On Wednesday, so you look at. I think the biggest game is probably Man City against Dortmund at the Etihad Stadium.
Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland again, the Haaland derby, right? The Haaland derby.
You see, Haaland was doing Peter Crouch. You see?
Yeah.
Eli Haaland.
Anyway, guy, let me read one more message or a couple of messages here because so many of them have come in. Somebody says, Dogu should maintain that hair. That's a message from Truth in Dakoma. He says, Dogu should maintain the hair. And Boachi says, looking at the rate at which teams are scoring goals from set pieces, don't you think VAR should add corner kicks to their protocols?
I said that, yeah. If it becomes a very good source of goal scoring, then we have to check if truly...
Some people are...
We don't need to check anything. We don't need to check
anything. True corner, was it true corner?
We don't need to check
Why are you checking for penalties and not for corners?
Then we'll check for goal kick.
And we'll check everything.
We'll check for goal kick too.
Somebody said this Christmas is bringing us branded rice called Casado rice. Interesting. All right, anyway, guys, that's our show for tonight. Thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you too for tuning in. Karim was here earlier with Ghanaian players abroad. Teacher of Philip Achim and Daniel Cranton, my guest in here. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. Show proudly sponsored by Guinness and by Piva Beverages, producer of Game Energy Drink, and of course produced by Joseph Ayenga Walter, aka Phil Foden. We are back again next Monday with another edition of Sports Zone. Until then, take care. Bye bye.